Welcome.
Welcome
to another episode of What?
In the...
What?
All right, I am one of your hosts. They call me Minister Lasae Simpson. Well, that's what they call me at church. They don't call me at other places.
They call them that everywhere. You go to a steakhouse, Outback, they be like, how may I take your order, Minister Lasae Simpson?
Yeah, right.
I am your other host, Pastor Gary Shelton Jr. of Desire of All Nations. If you're in the Milwaukee area, come visit us every Sunday at 1:30 on 44th and Congress in the YMCA.
Yeah.
So, welcome to the show. You're going to get our opinion. You're going to get some practical tips. But most importantly, you're going to get this word.
Because without the word,
it is just words.
T-shirts coming soon. That's our new T-shirt.
Without the word, it is just words. He going to make a fortune on them T-shirts too. I prophesy.
Right. I'm gonna sell them like LeVar Ball too. They're gonna be.
I'm prophesying.
My T-shirt gonna be $740. I'm gonna be like.
You gonna get one Christian to buy it. That's gonna be your mama.
I'm gonna be like LeVar Ball, and we getting some what in the word tennis shoes for $2,400. We coming for the ball, brothers.
What in the word tennis shoes?
Right.
Your soul gonna be saved.
Your soul. Ooh, we got a fat cat. Your soul will be saved. Man. That was on the tongue with Bibles like.
Oh yeah, laying it up.
Right.
All right, let's get into another topic for today.
Yeah.
As always, we're excited to come every time we can onto the intranet. Or however you play these videos, YouTube, Facebook.
I'm in a swivel chair just in case y'all didn't know.
So
sometimes I spin. That's how you
feeling good today?
No, I'm hungry. That's how you know I'm hungry. I'm in a swivel chair, so I'm hungry.
All right, well, let's hurry this up because my bro right here.
No, we good. I'm just hungry. I keep it real.
All right. You want to pray us in, man?
Sure. Lord, we just honor you. We thank you for what you're going to do with us today, Lord. Let the words that we speak come out of our mouths be edifying to you and to those listening. Amen.
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 All right. We got another topic for y'all today. Shouldn't be a drum roll on this one.
Hop, 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 hop.
Hop, 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 hop. That's that Christian Hop Scotch.
Yeah, Christian Hop Scotch.
You mean to tell me you done been in 10 churches already and ain't nobody using you?
Or you done been in 10 churches and you done cut up in each one?
You done snapped at each one.
So they all.
So, the question for today is, why have you been in so many churches?
Why have you been in so many churches? Why haven't you found a church home? And again, we hear so much stuff when we out on the street. A lot of times after we get done talking to somebody, you know, the obvious question that they'll ask us a lot of times is, what church do you go to?
Right.
So to return a favor, or I'll say, what church you go to? Oh, this is usually what I get. Oh man, you know, me and my wife, we've been sitting out for the last 3 years. We haven't found a church right now that we like, amen. But when we
ain't looking.
Yeah, we're not currently looking. You know what we do is we turn on some spiritual television, and I usually do that. And I just can't find a church nowhere, man. I go to these places, man, and it's like, you know, the pastor's taking your money, man, and you know, I got a word in me. I tried to speak at the last church, and they wouldn't let me get up there, man. So we really just we don't have time for that, man. So we not in the church right now. We're not in the church right now, and you know, but I like what you do, man. I like what you do. I like what you do a lot.
I like what you do, man.
Yeah,
I like that.
Keep doing it. Keep doing that. Keep doing. Because what you doing really is you taking it on the level where a lot of these churches don't go. See, that's my problem too.
Yeah. They don't. You know, you speak to the youth.
You speaking to the youth. You know, you get tattoos on your arm. And what you're doing is, see, the problem with the church, see, they got a church on 6th and Burleigh, man, and you got all these crack addicts around 6th and Burleigh, and they don't do nothing for
you. You don't know how many times they don't do
nothing for them. I'd be like, oh, you went over there? No, man, but I know they don't be doing nothing for them, man. That's the kind of, those are the kind of conversations.
That's pretty much it. First of all, I hear that a ton of times a day. You don't know what the church has tried to do for the neighborhood and got rejected. So they just stay and pray.
And I learned my lesson from that. Honestly, the first church I was at where I got saved, I can say the church name. I don't have nothing wrong, offensive. I don't have no oughts against it. The first church I was at, Holy Redeemer. Okay. Shout out to Holy Redeemer. I got saved at Holy Redeemer, and I had an issue with the pastor at first because everybody else had an issue with him. I was hearing so much from other people talking about he got all this money and he don't do nothing. He driving all these big old cars. So I'm like, yeah, he is driving all these big old cars. So me and
now mind you, he ain't know 2 things about scripture.
I don't know nothing about no scripture, and I didn't know nothing about Bishop at the time. I just knew that I was going to church. So as we began to get cooler, we developed a relationship. Shout out to Bishop Downs. He really helped me a lot. He took me from, I always say, he took me from a baby to a teenager, and Pastor Henderson took me from a teenager to a grown man. So shout out to Bishop Downs. But once I finally
shout out to my pastor, Pastor Henderson.
Shout out to Pastor Henderson.
That's dad, right?
That's daddy right there. That's our dad. But yeah, Bishop Downs, you know I love you. So I finally asked him. We had got cool enough, and I said, Bishop, I'm just gonna be honest.
He finally asked him, Bishop, is you a crook?
I said, Bishop. I said, you know, I hear about these cars all the time and all this money, and I really got to be around Bishop. So I saw how much he did for the community, all the stuff he was doing. He talked to me. He said, you know what, Lasae, he said, I used to be so nervous about the money because he told me he didn't even take a salary from the church at one time. Now, I don't know if this is still true, but at that time he wasn't even taking a salary.
Right.
He had so many other businesses and developments he was doing. That's where he was getting all his money from. So he was actually putting more money into the church, fixing it, doing stuff. He wasn't even getting anything out. But see, people see the cars and the different things, and I don't know what he doing with the rest of his money. Well, actually I do. He got buildings all on 35th and Hampton. I know personally, there was a youth, and I'm going a little ahead of myself, we're going to get into it. There was a youth who I knew had a serious problem. He didn't go to no church. I came to Bishop. Bishop had this man staying in an apartment building out of his own money. So you just got to be careful with what you say other people are not doing because you don't know.
Definitely. You haven't walked in other people's shoes.
That's just not, that's not to say it ain't some crooks out here too.
That's not to say.
Let's be clear. Let's be clear. We have some crooks. I don't know who they are, but they just like in anything, we got some crooks teaching.
Your brain and your spirit are both designed to protect you.
Yes.
You can see some folks.
You can see foolishness from a mile away. So let's be clear.
I'm gonna leave this place.
It's crooks at the bank working. It's crooks at the school working. It's crooks at the hospital working and the church. So it ain't just the church.
Now the question that we asked earlier.
Go ahead.
Why have you been at 10 churches? If the answer to that question is, because I done found 10 crooks, you keep searching.
Right.
That's plain and simple. Because I done found 10 crooks. You done found something you wasn't looking for, so keep searching. So there could be valid reasons for why you at 10 churches. But if 10 churches don't want you coming back,
you doing something wrong.
You got a problem. Every time they see, oh, here comes sister so-and-so. Here comes brother so-and-so. This brother done tried to go with everybody in the church. He keep walking everybody to their car and making everybody think that he trying to get them to the car safely.
Right.
I mean, girl, you look like you can cook some good cornbread.
Trying to get. Yeah. So you read your, because I talked the most. So you go ahead and read this.
Oh man, you good.
Go ahead.
One of the biggest reasons for people leaving the church, flat out, is rebellion.
Yes.
They don't want to do what's required. You go to your job.
Or they think they can do it better.
Yes. They go to your, that's a form of rebellion too.
Yeah.
You go to your job, there's rules. You go to the hospital, there's rules. You can go to the hospital with a gaping wound and you still can't skip the line. They'll look at you and be like, oh, you good, and call somebody else. You be like, how you gonna, I'm bleeding right here. How you gonna call the person that was in front of me? They was here first.
And I never understood that, because I done been in the weight room. People like, ah! And they like, well, they the kind of like, man.
Because they trained to know.
Ah! That's just how they be. They don't even care.
They're trained to know.
Ah!
They stole the symptoms. They stole the symptoms you got.
Man, that's true. I was like, they ain't gonna take care of it. Like, let her skip. They be like, nope.
She doing all that cutting up. She gonna sit right there.
That's just her foot.
I see you screaming.
That's her corner again. Ah! Go ahead, man. What scripture you got? What scripture you got for her, man?
Oh my gosh. So if you stuck in rebellion. Hebrews 13, 17 tells us, obey your leaders.
Alright.
And submit to them.
Yes.
Here's the reason why. For they are keeping watch over your souls as those who will have to give an account.
Yes.
And then it says, let them do this with joy and not with groaning. For that will be of no advantage to you. You don't want somebody when they see you coming going, oh my goodness, she came to church. Man, he here. Let them watch over your souls with joy. You bring them the stuff you struggling with, but bring them a good report every now and then. Pastor, look, I know you told me I couldn't do such and such yet. What can I do? Or Pastor Henderson always uses this analogy. You might come and say, I got a carpet ministry, and we building a church. Well, put your carpet ministry on hold. I got a carpet ministry, and they don't want to use it at the church. Well,
we don't even have carpet.
And you don't know, we got a bad roof. If you put your carpet in, rain gonna leak on your roof. So they know things that you don't know. They know a little bit more than you know. So if you're getting rejected, so to speak, from being used, it may be something you need to work on before you can be used that way. Or they may not be able to use what you have at that moment. It doesn't mean you won't get used, and it doesn't mean that you won't be relevant. But I can guarantee you, they don't want you in the waiting room going, they don't want you in the waiting room doing that, because that's annoying. And that's spiritually what most people do, when they don't want to get seen. They sit in the pew and make noise. In the spirit, that's what it sounds like.
And it's always an appointed time. You know, a lot of times we think we are so ready for things, and we're not. I was actually in a ministers and training program at my former church, and was close to being done, but the Lord told me it wasn't time for that. And in your spirit, you like, what? In your flesh, you like, man, I know I got the word, that's time, but it wasn't time. And I realized years later that, could I have gotten up, given a word, did things like that? But the personal life wouldn't have matched what the rest of the things were happening. So it's like, you can get up, you can preach a word, but you still got addictions. You still got stuff you can't stop doing. You still playing video games to 3 in the morning.
Everybody has something they're working on. But you know the difference between something that's a hindrance to you spiritually and something that you're working on getting better at.
And then you learn how to treat your wife. You know, there's things I didn't know. So it's like, now, knowing those things, now you're ready for that next level. You got your family in order. And my family was in order before, but it's like, you know what, I wasn't holding no car open for my wife before. She just got to get out. You know what I mean? You know, come girl, what you waiting on? They got that car.
He already in the restaurant at the table.
But
she
you know
got
better.
The car yet?
Yeah, you know better as you mature. So those are things that I got later from, again, as we say, our dad, Pastor Henderson.
Yeah, and one of the things this scripture mentions is that they are the ones that are giving account for your soul. Not that you ain't gonna have to give account for what you did, but the stuff that you bring to your man or woman of God, and they're not trying to help you get out of it, pray you through it, help you deal with it. They got to give an account for that. Why didn't you help them? Why didn't you deal with them? You know.
Yeah. Now again, we're not trying to get you to stay nowhere that is foolishness.
At all. You get there and there's 14 gold chains on and a hat with a feather in it and a cape draping. You make the best choice for you.
Yeah, they only take
and your family.
They only take the tithes and cash.
And don't talk about it when you leave either. Just vote with your feet.
Yeah, you just leave. You just leave. And again, you have to put the mirror back on you. If this your 18th church, and this happens everywhere you go, chances are it's not them, it's you. And you got to look in the mirror. That's a spirit that you have on you, that you always got to be the one up. You always got to go your way. You know more. You know better. If that's happening every place you go, there's a problem. There should be unity in the body. We should be able to use each other's gifts accordingly, even if it's not your time. There's certain ministries. I'm a minister. I'm on ministries. I'm not the leader. So I fall in line with what that ministry is doing.
Exactly.
I'm on the prayer team. I'm not the leader of the prayer team. So you mean
as a leader where you are, you lead people.
Yep.
And you follow people.
And I follow people. It's not,
what's wrong with that?
Yeah. Pastor's preaching on Sunday. I'm not standing up telling people, hey, on Saturday, that's out of order.
Yeah.
You don't do things like that. You fall in line. Now, when I'm leading, I lead. When I'm falling back, I fall back. I don't say anything unless somebody asks me something. So that's what you got to remember.
What you got for us, man?
I am in Ephesians 2:19, which reads, consequently, you are no longer foreigners and strangers, but fellow citizens with God's people, and also members of his household, built on the foundation of the apostles and prophets, with Christ Jesus himself as the chief cornerstone. In him the whole building is joined together and rises to become a holy temple in the Lord. And in him you two are being built together to become a dwelling in which God lives by his Spirit. So again, we are a dwelling place where God can come in, and it takes us to be around other like-minded individuals to not only build them up, but to build our gifts up. There's some stuff you don't even know you got in you to somebody else. I was sitting in a class at a church one day. I had a jogging suit on. I'll never forget this. And one of the ministers came up to me. Now, you can take it how you want. She said, you know what? She said, for where you going, you cannot come to Bible study with a jogging suit on.
Now, for you deep folks, I don't take all that. Now,
there was a deeper meaning.
Yes.
It wasn't. She wasn't trying to tell me my dress. She's telling me you need to come with the mindset that you handling business every single week, because you need to train now for where you're going. If I'm training to be a doctor, I got that stethoscope on me, stuff is in the car, I'm doing little stuff. I can check your blood pressure, I can do stuff like that. I'm in training. So she was trying to get me ready for training. Like, you're not chilling. I see where you going.
Right.
Put on those dress slacks.
Right.
Let people know you serious. At this church, that's what we do. Somewhere else, it might have been put on that hat.
Right.
You know what I mean? But from where we came from, where we are, where I am,
right,
that's the way we do it. So I took that. I didn't take it. She tried to tell me I can't wear no jogging suit. This Nike. Nike.
Right.
I didn't take it like that. I took it as she sees something in me. Okay, let me take that in. And from that day on, that was it. I dressed up and it didn't make me better than anybody else, but it started preparing me for where I was going.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Like you said, where you going should be way more important than where you are now.
Yes.
Even if you in the coldest church you can think of, our praise and worship is on point, our choir is on point, pastor don't never miss a beat, the people there are wonderful, and you still should be preparing to go to somewhere better.
Yeah.
You still should be, like, the persona I have here isn't how I am when leading a church. I can't be, this my guy right here. But when I'm leading people, I'm accountable for their soul. I have to deal with them not as friends. I have to deal with them as people who I have to be honest enough with to tell them when they're wrong. And if they can't deal with that and decide to walk, that clears my conscience.
And then I gotta know that too as my friend. I'm walking in this church like, what up, dog? I fall in order again.
So that's just is what it is. If you done been to 10 churches, and that 11th one you get to is kind of alright, ain't no foolishness going on, it's a couple things you don't like, but really you have no reason to leave, get bolted. Stay down, hear what the Lord has to say, and then decide, hey, is this church for me? Is the direction that this ministry going for me? Because it might not be. You might think every church has the same vision, but they don't. Some churches' vision might be to bring a secular artist in, speak to the youth, something like that.
I ain't going to that.
We can't do that. I've seen churches who had hip hop artists come and back before Mace had left secular world.
I went to go see Mace like 4 times.
See,
that was my favorite rapper.
See,
and sadly, the first time I went to go see him, you gonna laugh. It was really to see if his waves were real. Cause I thought his waves was just ridiculous. I was like, his waves ain't real. That was TV. They was real. They was real.
You have just been hit with another episode of What
in the...
We find us on Facebook.